I wanted to tell you something that happened to me yesterday at my very second to last exchange. So not my official drain, but the one right before it, okay? So you remember how I'm getting the bags from Thailand and that they're smaller. They still hold the same amount, but the drain bag, I'm concerned about whether or not it's able to hold the same amount, and I don't think it is. But nonetheless, I use drain bags to drain every time so that everything gets drained out. I don't have to worry about whether or not everything got out. So it's a little tricky because I have to disinfect and then connect to the drain bag. Now, when I'm done draining, I have to clip that so that, nothing spurts back out. Close myself off, of course, so nothing is there or anything can go in. So what I did, though, was, again, remember that the drain bag is smaller, so I don't drain into this drain bag, right? I drain into a completely different one. So I grab this and I connect to that to drain, and then it dawned on me, oh my God, I just connected to the wrong bag. I knew it would happen eventually, but I was just really surprised because I was like, holy cow, all this time, almost a month, almost going on 2 months now of having to use 2 steps or an additional step than what I'm been used to. So I guess that's pretty good. But in that moment, I was like, well, I could risk draining into the bottom one, but if I do that, which would have been connected to that bag, will I get everything out? Will there be room to get everything out? So I had eaten some homemade delicious like roast stew, and I was a little bit worried that I would not get all the toxins out, but also because when you eat soups, you're like loading yourself up with liquid, right? And so what happens is you can get edema, which is when your body is swollen with liquid fluid, right? And so I sat there for a moment thinking, what do I do? Like, I didn't drain, I didn't open, I didn't do any of that. I just sat there. I was connected, so I'm sterile. So I decided I better be safe. So I grabbed out a drain bag, and then I quickly connected like I always do. And I went ahead and drained that way. Then at the end of that drain, I did not disconnect. I actually carried the full bag that had the drain in it all the way across the apartment to where I store my bags. And I actually ended up opening up a whole nother bag because the one that I had accidentally used too soon would have had at least 20 minutes of open exposure. So that's really dangerous because germs in the air, maybe off of me, just naturally in the world, could sit inside of there and wait till I connect it, and then it can come inside me, and that's how I get peritonitis. And so it kind of sucked because I had to pay attention to like which bag then I was connecting to. So I actually took it down and put it on the floor, and I just let it, just kind of like ignored that one, hung up my new bag, re-sterilized, and then connected to that. And everything's fine. I don't have any symptoms of anything like peritonitis. But yeah, so I I finally made the mistake, but I guess 2 months is pretty good for that. I'm just pretty aware, but yesterday I was really tired, and that happens often where you have to stop and think like, what am I doing? What's going on? And there's been a couple times where I have sat here waiting for my stupid bag to fill me again, and I never opened my valve because I was so tired. I just totally spaced it. And so it becomes muscle memory really fast. Like in the beginning, like your first time, it's very stressful. And I would say the first week, you're just kind of like a bit stressed. But then after that, it's just muscle memory, and you figure your whole rhythm and your whole routine out, and it works out really well. But there are times where you are really tired that you will sit here and forget a step. We're just human. So really, instead of just panic, don't panic. Just stop and think, like, where am I? What am I doing? You know, sometimes you have to think, like, what time of the day is it? Okay, it is. And I have a clock that's just right up there too that helps me, because I will tell you, there are times, especially in the morning, where you're like, am I draining? Am I feeling? What am I doing? And you can glance at that and be like, oh no, it's, 10 o'clock. That means I need to be doing another full exchange. So that does help. So that was my adventure yesterday. I just want to make sure that I'm getting out everything that I need to. And I didn't even eat excessively yesterday, but I'm just leery about the smaller drain bags, because I'm not confident that they hold enough to pull out for people from Thailand. It's probably not an issue. But I don't know. Like, it's just a weird thought. And yeah. Another thing that happened is I'm really tired. So remember how I'm keeping track of my energy levels for the month? I will say that probably, again, what is today? Today is Friday. So then Wednesday, I could feel myself tapering down. I could feel my energy depleting. Yesterday, it was so hard for me to get up. I was just so tired. I finally took Smokey out. Thank God he goes potty really fast. And I think he senses that. They say that animals can sense how you feel. There's been a few times where I had a really bad cold, or like the flu, where I could not even go down the steps. I was so achy, and he had to wait all day till Donnie got home, and he did. He's good like that. But and I'm so thankful, because holy cow. But yesterday I took him potty, and we came right back up, and I laid down, and I fell asleep until like my second exchange, which was, I think, 10:30. And so from that point, I went ahead and got dishes ready in the sink after that exchange, and then I kind of went through my day. But I tell you, I really just sat a lot on the couch. I watched quite a few crazy movies. I decided there's no way that I can take him for a long walk. I don't even want to go outside. It wasn't necessarily hot either. I think it might have reached 85. So the apartment stayed pretty nice and cool. But overall, I was just hot, tired, bothered, kind of annoyed too. And it was just, I had a headache. It was like all these things all of a sudden yesterday. So I don't know what happens. It's my speculation that maybe iron has dropped. I did make that beef stew, so I figured that the nutrient from the beef bone broth, and also the beef would help. I did throw in a couple potatoes and a carrot, just to help kind of give it a little bit more to the stew. And it was really very soupy. So I don't usually add flour to it to make it thickened or anything like that. I like it to just be as bone brothy as possible. So I figure I'm dehydrated, and that's probably the headache. So I thought, well, if I eat the beef and I'm having some salt in the beef, and in the stew, and then I'm also drinking the soup broth, that's going to hydrate me. So hopefully I can turn this around and not have to take any medicine, what you guys know I don't like to do. but once in a great while I will take a acetaminophen just to help alleviate a headache. The other thing is that I am waiting for my new contacts to come in, and so I'm trying to do kind of like every other day wearing contacts. Today I have them in. Yesterday I did not, and I think that a combination of that, not getting my coffee, being so tired, depleting my iron, I don't even know, brought on the headache, and then also probably my eyes were just tired. So I had to wear my glasses, which was fine when I was, from watching movies and stuff, that's fine, and I can see really well with them, but it was just a crazy day yesterday overall. Today I still feel really tired. So I remember Donnie leaving today, and I woke up actually like, okay, let's get going. And I went and was drinking some coffee, and then I thought, oh, it's only 5. I'm just gonna lay down for a few minutes, maybe play on my phone a little bit. And I was asleep until 8. And I jerked awake at 8 and thought, oh my God. So I forced myself to get ready. I forced myself to go to Walmart, or actually Fry's, because I needed to get just a couple things for my dinner lunch today, which I think I'm going to have some tuna salad. I haven't had tuna in a while. I think I'm going to do that. So I got some butter lettuce so that I can use that as my little burrito taco holder, or bread, whatever. So it should be pretty good. Anyways, that's my day. And my headache is still kind of here. It's like nagging. But I just brewed some coffee, and I just drank my whole thing of water. So I think it'll probably go away. I'll be okay. But I do get to go back to DaVita on Tuesday. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to need to get an iron shot that day. All right. Talk to you guys later. Have a good day. Drink your water and rest when your body tells you to rest. It's okay. Bye-bye.